guys, welcome back to my channel Rewind That. It's your girl Miss K. If this is your first time coming across my channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you can enjoy more videos like this one. Okay, so tonight we are going to be going over the latest episode of Power, season 6, episode number 12, called He Always Wins. And by he, we are talking about Ghost. Okay, so the episode starts off with Paz having a nightmare. And we see that throughout this whole episode, we as the viewers are seeing things through her perspective, through her eyes. Like last week, we saw with Dre. Okay, so here we are, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I do not want to watch a whole episode of Paz. I mean, there were moments when they first started, right, she was having a nightmare and she was like, can somebody help me? I'm looking for my sister, this and that. And then Ghost came out all bloody and, you know, blood on his hands and this and that. And he was like, you're too late. She's dead and you couldn't stop me, you know, being all spooky and stuff like that. So, of course, through her eyes and through her perspective, Ghost is, you know, a murderer. He is someone that's scary like that and everything, right? So that's how she looks at him, right? But anyway, yeah, we did see Ghost in the very beginning. They let us see him sooner than we did last week. But there were certain points in this episode where I was feeling like, dag, I don't even feel like I'm watching Power right now, you know? But that did change as the episode went along. You know, it started to show, you know, more of Ghost and then more Tommy. So it did start to feel a little more like Power. But anyway, so like I said, you know, Paz, she's having a nightmare and then she wakes up. We see that she's on this journey of vengeance. You know what I mean? Like, and she's going hard, like she's going to everybody. So her first stop is she goes to Tasha and she's like, Tasha, I need your help to take him down. I need to take Jamie down. He left you. You know, whenever Tasha was telling her, listen, I can't help you. Do you want me to hate him? Okay, I hate him, but he's also the father of my children. So I can't take down Jamie or James without taking down my kids too. And so Paz was like, oh, well, he said that he didn't care about you. The only thing he cared about was my sister and the kids and this club in Miami. So Paz was trying to really dig, you know what I'm saying, and make Tasha be on her side and change her mind, which is, you know, that's kind of low. And then on top of that, she brought up the whole Raina situation, talking about, oh, and he already made you lose one child and this and that. And then Tasha was like, don't do that. Don't even go there. He was not responsible for Raina's death, just like he didn't kill Angela. So Paz is like, you know what? If you're not going to help me, I'll just do it myself. So she goes home and she gets, you know, a gun out of this box or whatever. And she's like parked in this car and she's watching James. Like she's watching Ghost walk on the sidewalk. And I think he's about to go inside of Truth or whatever. So she gets her gun out and she steps out the car. And I don't know if she was supposed to run up behind him or anything. But anyway, so she looks like she's about to go and try to shoot him. But then this fire truck just speeds on by and it startles her or whatever. So it kind of throws her off her game and her plan. And James he's in the building now, so it's too late. She can't do anything if she wanted to. That plan was spoiled and she goes away from there, right? But anyway, I wanted to mention that in this particular scene, we see that the person that was watching Ghost, like I don't know if you guys remember, but episode 10, there was somebody watching Ghost. And it didn't show who was watching him. And I was like, who in the world was watching him? Remember, there were so many different little questions that we needed to be answered. So now it seems like they're answering more. And so that was the answer to one of the questions that I had, was who was watching Ghost that day when he was going into the building and everything. And it was Paz. Okay, so we see that she had her eye on him for a little while. You know, she had her own little personal vendetta going on. Anyway, so she leaves the scene and she goes looking for Sax at the office or whatever, where the feds are. And she finds out through Warner that Sax doesn't work there anymore. And then Warner tells her, I'm sorry, you know, for everything that happened with your sister and everything. And he tells her that, you know, Sax botched an investigation and that's why he doesn't work here anymore and all that stuff, and I'm sorry about that. And she's like, what are you talking about? What do you mean botched an investigation? And so the next scene goes to where she's knocking on freaking Sax's door, like his apartment, and she's like, what happened? You promised me you was gonna get Jamie and all this stuff. And he said, I'm sorry, Paz, what happened was, you know, the autopsy showed that there was no way that James was responsible for Angela's murder. And she says, you're lying. So clearly she's not trying to hear that, she's like, there's no way, because if he didn't do it, then who did it? And he said, I'm sorry, I don't know who killed your sister, but it is my fault. And she said, what are you talking about? How is it your fault? And then he says, we knew that Angela was in conspiracy for acting as in-house counsel for James' drug organization. I had to get that right. He was talking about conspiracy to murder, like all kinds of stuff, all kinds of counts that he was laying out for her. And she was like, there's no way, my sister would never do anything like that. Sachs was basically saying it was his fault because he said they knew. Everybody knew she was involved with James St. Patrick's organization, and she was in the hole, and they let her out. He's saying that if they wouldn't let her out the hole, she wouldn't have got killed, right? But of course, pause once again. She's not trying to hear it. I'm done. And she got herself out of there. And so she goes to her son. She goes home and she talks to her son, because her son is like, did you get Titi's money, this and that? Because he wants to go back to college or pay for school. And Paz is like, no, unfortunately, there's some things that we didn't know that Angela was involved in. Like, she got tied up into the wrong things. And he says, so you mean she did this to herself? And she said, you better watch your mouth. She said it in Spanish. And because once again, she's not trying to hear it. Everything, she's going to different places. First, she went to Tasha and talked about, breaking up. Tasha brought up how, this woman broke up her marriage and everything. She wasn't trying to hear that. Oh, my sister wasn't trying to break up a marriage, this and that and the third, right? Then she goes to Sachs, and Sachs is telling her Angela was involved in some stuff. Now her son is telling her, well, if Titi was involved in all this stuff, then she did this to herself. And she's just in denial. She ain't trying to hear it. She's letting her vengeance drive her to the point where she's not really making any sense. Okay? So anyway, next she goes to Warner again, and she tells him that she has evidence that links Angela to St. Patrick's Drug Association. And Warner lets her know, listen, if this is true, I gotta let you know, if this evidence bears any fruit, that your sister's, first of all, reputation will be tarnished, and you won't get any pension, okay? And so all the medals, everything goes away. And she said, I don't care. I want justice. And he said, no, you want vengeance, And that's what I was saying. I'm like, you really want vengeance that bad that you are actually thinking of, because y'all don't really have the money like that to cover anything. So now you it's basically like you're cutting your nose off to spite your face at this point, because Angela left everything behind. Like the son was saying, you're not doing anything that Titi wanted. She wanted me in school, and she wanted Papi in a nursing home, and he's not in there, and I'm not in school. So it's like she was letting the vengeance blind her, right, to the point where she wasn't even carrying out her sister's last wishes, or not last wishes, but her sister's wishes, period, right? So anyway, they go and they freaking dig up Angela's body like she's Mega Evers or somebody. All right. And it was like, dag, like that part was a little deep right there, because you could see her body like decomposing and everything. And I'm like, dag, like this girl, like she want to get justice, but she's going after the wrong person. That's the messed up part about it, is that she's going after the wrong person, So anyway, they get the phone. Come to find out, she digs up her sister's body for nothing, okay, because there's no evidence on the phone. The SIM card is destroyed. And the little text messages or whatever that's on the phone, they're like one-word messages. You know what I'm saying? And it's not enough. Like, it shows that she was in contact with people that was a part of James' organization or whatever, but it is nothing, no evidence to hold anything. So it was all for nothing. But out of all of that, do you know what happens? Of course we know. Angela loses her pension. That's what it's looking like. Angela loses her pension. It's not looking good for her. Okay, so that's what they were saying. Warner tells her, I told you, I warned you, it's not looking good for your sister if we do this. And it's not looking good for her. And the worst part about it is we got nothing. So she's like, oh no, I didn't just dig up my sister's body for nothing and all of this. And just wire me up. I want to go talk to James right now. and I'm going to get him to confess and, give me some information. So he wires her up. And of course, this is kind of like another scene from episode number 10 that we get to see. Now it's through Paz's eyes and all that stuff. And James just tells her, listen, your sister was trying to keep us all out of jail. And, if I could trade my life for hers, I would. Right. And she's just like, just tell me who killed her, because I know you didn't at this point. And so we see now that she really didn't believe that still, or she was trying to struggle with believing it. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, so he was like, I can't tell you because I don't know. Okay, so she left pissed off from James, and then she went to Tasha and she's saying, giving her an update, like nothing is working. You're right. He always wins or whatever. And the feds, they can't find nothing to make it stick or whatever. They're not finding enough evidence to make it stick. And so Tasha is like, nah, I told you. And, I called you because I thought, you had me thinking or whatever. And I was going to try to help. But I see that we just better leave it alone. And so she said, but I should tell you, Tasha. She said, I should tell you that James has moved on with another woman. And so this information seemed to really piss Paz off, because she said, he just told me that he loved my sister and that he would trade his life for hers. And Tasha was like, yeah, girl, he told all three of us all different kind of things, So Paz leaves and she's pissed again, right? She was just pissed all throughout this episode. Okay, and so she goes to Tommy now and she's offering him money to kill Ghost. She says, please, I need you to kill the man who murdered my sister. And he was like, yeah, I can't do that. And I'm thinking, yeah, you can't kill yourself. Exactly. So anyway, but he refuses her, of course, and she's like, please, please, Jamie is evil. He's a monster. Nobody's gonna miss him. And my sister, she didn't deserve that. She was a good person. And that stopped Tommy right in his tracks, because he was like, she wasn't all that good. And then she was like, well, if that's the case, it was because of Jamie, what he did to her and all this, right? And Tommy said, it ain't have nothing to do with him, okay? She made that choice herself, okay? And at this point, there's a general consensus, right, of everybody telling Paz that Angela was into some mess and she made some bad choices, right? Like I said before, Paz ain't trying to hear it. But people are basically trying to tell her, your sister is dead because of the choices that she made. Not saying she deserved it or anything. Okay, so, she goes to freaking... First of all, Tommy had to literally push her out of his apartment because she just would not give up, So anyway, she goes to Truth, and I'm telling you, once she got to Truth, right, and I saw all of these people, I was like, yeah, she ain't kill him, because first of all, he got shot when Truth was empty. So I'm like, if she's going there and it's packed like that, of course she's an eliminated suspect. She didn't kill him. So anyway, but she did go to Truth to try to kill him. But when she tried, she walked up to him, and I'm like, wait, so this girl was planning on shooting this man in like right there in front of everybody, a bunch of people. So it's a bunch of witnesses. Like, you was about to throw your life away. Like I said, the lady was allowing vengeance to just really take over, and she was making some bad choices, right? Anyway, she sees Ghost there, and she's getting ready to take out her gun. But as she's taking out her gun, now everything that everybody was telling her before about her sister making certain choices, breaking up the marriage, conspiracy, all of this kind of stuff that she was doing, that was all coming back to Paz. She was thinking about everything that everybody was saying. And she just came to the realization, like, you know what? My sister made some choices that were bad. And it was like, I'm not going to kill this man for that. That's what it seemed like. Obviously she came to that realization because she had to think like, okay, all right, my sister made these choices, and those are the consequences. It had to be a hard realization for her to come to, but she came to it. And she went home, and she wasn't feeling the greatest or anything like that, but she woke up the next day and she saw in the news that Ghost was killed. And she said, he lost. I was like, wow. But what about that creepy thing, that little creepy scene? I wouldn't say it's creepy, but they made it look like it was kind of creepy. And Paz was in the bathroom with Ramona, and Ramona was like, some people are unstoppable. It was like, what's up with that? You know, like, I don't know. That was a little weird to me. So anyway, so she gets a call to come down to some type of office because they're going to go over James' estate, right? So she meets up with this lawyer who's taking care of his estate, and she finds out that she's in James's will. And the guy told her, you know, James updated his will after Angela died, because Angela was in the will at first, but he updated it once she died, and he added pause. And I'm like, you know what, that was very nice, because everybody that was in Ghost's close circle, they were all trying to make him out to be this selfish guy who didn't care about nothing and nobody but himself, right? But this act right here, he left money to this lady that he didn't have no kind of relationship with, but he knows that the love of his life, she was pretty much taking care of her family, and he left money for her family. Like, that was nice. That was thoughtful. Anyway, so much for that, of him being a selfish man and all that crap. But anyway, so she's like, I don't want the money. So she runs into Tasha out in the lobby or whatever. And Tasha's like, oh, so let me guess, Angela was in the will? And Paz was like, no, it was me. And she said, but I'm not going to take the money. And Tasha's like, no, take the money. I know you need the money. Paz said, no, I don't want it. And so she says to Tasha, did you kill Jamie? And then Tasha just has this stupid smirk on her face, and she didn't bother to answer the question, but she was like, girl, you need to take that money. I know you need it, right? Tasha said, James didn't kill her. You need to take the money. Paz said, no, I'm not going to take the money because I know my sister made choices, but Jamie is still responsible. And so that's when Tasha dropped the bomb and was like, no, he's not responsible. Tommy is. And I was like, whoa, like, I can't believe that she told on Tommy to anybody. You know, we know that they don't snitch to the feds, this and that, but they don't snitch, period, to anybody. This is how it's been throughout this series, but clearly in this last season, they've been snitching like crazy. So they've been doing a lot of things that have been going against their character, but whatever, we're not gonna get all into that. Okay, so I was just really wondering what made Tasha give up Tommy like that. Like, is there something, you know, that we don't know? You know what I'm saying? Is there, you know, are they going to show us another side? Like, maybe through Tasha's perspective when they get to her? Are they going to show us where her and Tommy had some type of beef or, you know, something like that? I don't know. Anyway, we'll see. But, of course, Paz, you know, she's pissed now because she's thinking everything. She's thinking about the meeting that she had with Tommy and how she was saying, I need you to kill the man who killed my sister. And she was looking right at him. So, of course, that made her even more pissed off. So she tries to go to his house. She's banging on the door. And after she bangs a little bit, she sees that the door is kind of open, I guess. She goes in. She opens the door. And she sees this freaking place is empty. So he done left town, does it? I mean, that's when I'm like, did Tommy freaking skip town? I need to know. They can't let Tommy get off that easy. Like, he's done too many things. Like, if Ghost gets killed, Tommy has to get killed too or get sent to jail. There's no way they're going to just let Tommy get away scot-free like that. I mean, we still got Little Mama's locket. What's her name? Proctor's daughter, Elisa Marie. We still got the evidence on her locket. Like, we still got a lot of things, okay? He cannot get away with anything. I hope not. I've loved Tommy, okay? But he still got to get what's coming to him, all right? And on top of that, he killed a made man. Like, come on now. Where's the consequences for that? All right, anyway, so that's pretty much my review. But there was also something that happened that I forgot to mention where somebody from the Democratic Party came into Warner's office and they warned him. They said, listen, we got some type of notification that you guys dug up Angela Valdez's body. I'm telling you right now, that case is closed. You need to leave it alone because James is a part of the Democratic Party now. Stop what you're doing. So after that warning, James goes right to the judge and tells them, oh, we have evidence against James St. Patrick, this and that and the third. And it would, like, he didn't even listen to the guy's warning at all, right? So come to find out at the end, the guy came back to the office and told him, you know, I warned you. I told you to leave things alone. And, you know, James was already dead at this point, right? But the guy said, you're going to get a call because I warned you and told you to leave this stuff alone. Don't mess with the Democratic Party or don't mess with the Democrats. And you are about to be fired. So Warner's like, get the F out of my office. You know, to me, Warner was funny. I was cracking up at him. But anyway, so come to find out, it was true. He got a call, and they was taking on, next thing you know, they was taking off his little sign on the door with his name on it or whatever. And I was like, wow. So if James would have lived, he would have kind of almost had like immunity or like a serious protection from anybody trying to dig into his past or dig into, you know, trying to do an investigation on anything or whatever. Like, they was serious about keeping him covered in that way. So anyway, but I just thought that was pretty interesting. It's pretty sad that Warner got fired, because I don't think he deserved to be fired. He was the only one that was doing things by the book, really. But at the same time, maybe in a way he did deserve it, because he knew that Blanca got some evidence in the wrong way, right? And he still went ahead and presented that case to the judge. So anyway, whatever. But that was my review, guys. Let me know what you guys thought about this episode. You know, it was cool. And we'll see what happens next week. We'll see whose perspective we're going to be looking at next. You know, I'm thinking it's going to be between Saxe and Tate. I do believe that we have 3 episodes left, so I do believe that they're going to leave the perspective of, I think, Tariq, Tasha, and Tommy probably to the final episode. That's probably how they're going to do that, right? And don't be surprised if, because I was thinking about this, that don't be surprised if none of the people that they have lined up as a suspect is actually the killer. Like, it's probably somebody that we never even thought of, somebody we overlooked, somebody we probably forgot about from past episodes or past seasons, you know? So who knows, you know? It could even be Ramona. I don't know why it would be Ramona. I'm not guessing. I'm not doing theories about it. I'm just saying, don't be surprised if it's none of the suspects that we're thinking about so far. All right. Anyway, thank you so much for your time, and I will see you guys next week. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already, and hit that notification bell so you know when I upload videos like this one. Have a blessed one. Take care. Bye-bye.